Hey, buddy.
Hi, guys. Well, from gorgeous Salt Lake City, Utah,
It's Thank God I'm Atheist.
the podcast.
I'm Frank Feldman.
And I'm Dan Beecher.
And coming up on today's show, we're going to wade into this, the whole vaccine, anti-vax thing.
Yes.
In light of, all these measles outbreaks that are going on. We haven't really touched too much on this topic.
There's a lot of vaccine stuff in the world right now.
Yeah, the Salt Lake Tribune was reporting about, how the state's calling for people to, hey, get out there and get vaccinated. We don't want an outbreak.
Yeah.
And then in today's paper, they were like, oh, by the way, our vaccination rates are so low that it's not if, it's when.
Oh, good.
We get a measles outbreak. So that's
good.
really fucking cool. And so that's coming up on the later on in the show. But first, we have some news.
Some various and sundry reports and
things
business
that have happened in the world
to report upon. Sure.
I want to start with that Steven Anderson.
Oh, ain't he a peach?
He's something else, let me tell you. He sort of ascribes to this idea of I think they call it hard preaching.
Oh yeah,
where he feels it's his duty to dig up the hard things.
Yeah.
To say to people.
He goes hard.
The unpopular parts of the Bible to preach to people.
That's right.
Which leads him.
It doesn't matter. You know what? Because it doesn't matter what the world says. All that matters is what God says.
That's absolutely true.
And let me tell you what God says. No eating of greater or lesser owls. That's God's word.
Really?
Yeah, that's one of the Levitical things.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
So he does his hard preaching thing, which has led to some very interesting outcomes.
He doesn't like the gays.
He doesn't like gays, and he takes tactics that he makes fun of the way people look. He likes to call people faggots, libtards, queers, sissies, retards, homos, and he claims it as biblical language. Actually, right?
Yeah, because he's not using the King James, so don't be confused. He's using the.
It's funny that you say that because
the dictard translation of the Bible.
It is funny that you say that he doesn't, because on his church's website they sort of have a whole thing about how the King James version is the only version.
Oh my God! But if anyone ever says that to you, feel free to laugh in their face, because the King James version was this series of compromises made by a bunch of guys who were trying to make sure that they didn't offend the Catholics too much, but they didn't offend the Church of England too much. It was never an attempt to be a faithful recreation of the text.
Greek and the Aramaic or whatever,
and the Hebrew. Yeah.
Well, all right. Why am I talking about him?
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's been banned from entering Ireland. And last week there was a news story about him being banned from entering the Netherlands, which I didn't really bring up at the time, but 2 weeks in a row there was an opportunity to talk about this guy for being banned from a country. So,
yeah, he was planning a European tour, and then Europe found out.
Yeah, and what's interesting is by the Netherlands banning him, apparently if one nation in the Schengen zone, right? Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
So the European Union, they have this big treaty amongst all the countries that are part of this specific zone, that they took down all the border controls.
Yes.
Right? So people can flow freely throughout all of Europe.
Yeah.
And apparently, if one of the nations that's part of that zone ban somebody from entering, they effectively ban them. All the other nations go, yeah, us too, because otherwise it would be a back door. You could just fly into Belgium instead and take a train up to the Netherlands, and nobody would be able to keep you out. So they all have each other's back, right? So by the Netherlands saying you can't come in, they spoke for all of Europe. So Germany can't let them in, Italy can't let them in, so forth and so on. But then there are others. Obviously, Ireland just joined suit, not being part of that zone. But South Africa, Malawi, Canada.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's others. These were just the ones I was able to find. These are all nations who have said, or that have said, Mr. Steven Anderson, nope.
Yeah.
We don't want you.
What state is he from? Can we just keep him there?
Well, he was born in Sacramento.
Okay.
But he preaches and lives down in Arizona.
Good. Let's just confine him to Arizona.
Yeah.
And that'll be fine.
I suppose so. But here are some fun facts about Mr. Anderson.
Okay.
So he actually, when he was 18 years old, he was soul winning on the streets of Munich, Germany, street preaching, right? And I was like, what a fool. 18 years old, street preaching. And then I was like, oh, I did that when I was 19.
You're like,
we just called it something.
I didn't street
palatable.
preach though. I went door to door like a respectable
civilized-
person.
Like any normal
Teenager.
selling pest control.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and that's actually where and how he met his wife.
Oh, lovely.
Let's see. They've been married more than 17 years and have 10 children.
Jesus Christ.
These people. And his website, the church's website, claims that he has memorized well over 140 chapters of the Bible.
Oh.
This guy, you know.
That is a useful pastime.
And they also make the claim that his materials have been translated into more than 115 languages. I find this hard to believe a little bit, just because I've seen video from his church. It's not like there's a lot of people there.
No, and it's not like he's
and it's
good.
so hateful. Yeah,
He's famous for being a
it's
dick.
just vitriol, like just truly ugly, ugly, ugly preaching. Let's see. Was there anything else here?
You are a genuine, like, real first-class asshole when African countries are like, you're too big a jerk to come into our country. You're too far to the right for our African country. We hate gays. Yes, we're not okay with any of this. You've gone too far, sir. Like, when that's the case, when Malawi says no, you should start looking in a mirror, buddy.
I know.
That's what I'm saying.
Yep.
I'm going to talk about a different preacher. This one, it runs in the family for this one. This is Jerry Falwell Jr., president of Liberty University.
Nobody calls him that.
I'm making it
You're
a thing.
starting this?
I'm starting it a thing. I'm starting a thing.
I love it. Okay.
Anyway, Jay Fall, the junior. I don't remember if we reported on this, but you'll recall that a little while ago, I think we may have talked about it. Jerry Falwell Jr., somehow it was reported that a guy that he met when he and his wife were staying at a Miami luxury resort, a pool boy that he met, suddenly Jerry Falwell they struck up quite a friendship.
Oh, I bet. Oh,
handsome young pool boy.
Hey, pool boy.
And then not too long after that, suddenly that pool boy had an investment of over $1 million in a new venture.
Oh my God.
So eyebrows raised a little bit. And now I just wanted to touch on the fact I'm not drawing any lines here. Please don't think that I am.
But you're going to put your tinfoil hat on.
But the next thing we learn about Jerry Falwell, or what we just learned about him, is that Trump's fixer and now guy who's trying to, like, who's just spilling his guts because he's got nothing left to lose, Michael Cohen, has said that he participated in helping get rid of a problem for Jerry Falwell Jr. involving him being blackmailed with a bunch of, quote, racy personal pictures. of Jerry Falwell. So someone was trying to blackmail Mr. Falwell. Pool Boy's lawyer has vociferously denied that it was Pool Boy who was trying to blackmail Mr. Falwell.
Clearly, somehow got some money.
Yeah. There's money there. Look, I don't know anything that happened. Here's what I do know. Jerry Falwell Jr. is gay. That's what we know for sure. That man is, or at least bi. He likes
some fun time with the boys.
He likes
when he can get it.
Some ding dong time.
Yeah.
And that is a fact that we are reporting here.
Wow.
No, that's not a fact. I'm not saying that. I'm letting you draw your own conclusions, listener. All I'm saying is, dude likes dick, and that violates his honor code of his own university.
Oh, no.
Liberty University does not allow the
this
sending.
Is why he pays to cover it up.
Right. He has denied all of this. Of course, he has denied not the investing in Pool Boy's venture, but he has denied there being any pictures. Michael Cohen claims to have one of the pictures.
Oh my God.
That's something you hang on to.
Oh, boy. Yeah, you do. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, there you go.
Well, I've got a very interesting little story about, I guess Ramadan is happening as we speak, right?
Ding dong.
I can't keep track. It's on this. They're on a weird calendar. So Ramadan always kind of happens almost like a month earlier every single year.
Yeah.
They're on a lunar calendar.
It does skip around, doesn't it?
And it's pretty predictable. I think it just slowly
it just
every year
inches its way backwards.
A few weeks earlier in the year.
Okay.
Every single year.
Sure.
Well, it's been working its way towards spring, obviously, and it's happening now.
Okay.
And what this means, of course, if you're not familiar with Ramadan, this is the holy month that Muslims fast in sort of the daylight hours. Or something like that, right?
Okay.
Isn't it something along those lines? They're fasting during the day.
Yes,
I know that
Yes,
much.
they fast during the day, and then they have one big meal at night.
They have like a big, and it's a month of, it's a very celebratory month, right? There's a lot of big feasts and meals together. It sounds like,
and then at the end, you have the big feast,
and then at the end of it, then there's like a really big special holiday and everything.
It's Muslim Mardi Gras.
I'm not going to get totally into all of that because I don't know all of it. I just going to have a general understanding of what it is. But what's important here is that it's really about sort of adult Muslims, like definitely puberty up to adults and all adults, right? Little kids don't have to fast.
Yeah, that would be rough.
That would be really hard, right?
Little kids got to eat.
And they're pretty, strict on, I'm pretty sure they're, not even, drinking water or shit during the day.
I think they drink water.
They drink water?
I think so.
Because here's the deal. This whole story is about a cinema worker in Abu Dhabi refusing to sell a Muslim child a bottle of water.
What the fuck, dude?
Right. And it's pretty clear the adults in the story are like, it's a child. We're talking about children. Sell them the water.
Right.
So Abu Dhabi, of course, being part of the United Arab Emirates, has it is a Muslim country, but has a large non-Muslim population that fill in a lot of these service jobs. Right. And so this person who was not selling the water wasn't Muslim and didn't fully understand all the rules. Right?
Oh, interesting.
But apparently this is really common. Even some Muslim service workers will get really judgy if people are seemingly breaking one of these rules.
Well, it's so weird. If you won't even sell it to them, when are they supposed to buy the groceries for the evening meal?
Well, I think grocery stores probably have it figured out a little bit more. But this whole thing, it's just Muslim after Muslim person complaining about specifically movie theater staffs.
Really?
Yeah,
How
because
funny.
this little girl ended up going to the McDonald's that was outside the theater,
Okay.
and was able to get some water.
Yeah.
And then she brought it into the theater, and her little sister, who was the one who actually needed to drink the water, right, was allowed to drink. But apparently also like women may have a little what do you call it, exclusion from having to fast, because this is interesting. They asked her, "Are you Muslim?" Obviously, she said yes. Said Mrs. Jafar, that's the name of the mother. And the lady said, "Are you fasting?" She said, "I'm not fasting today," which was humiliating for her to say that. Clearly, there are reasons why a woman will not fast in a month. Right. And so...
Oh, yeah. If she's on her period, that
could
could be really bad.
Right, exactly. And she goes, it was the most ridiculous situation. Being a Muslim and being made to feel uncomfortable in a Muslim country. Oh.
Yeah, that is... Here's the thing. I imagine that a non-Muslim concession worker is in a very tight position.
Yeah.
Because if they willingly sell something to a Muslim, they could probably get yelled at.
Oh, it's beyond yelled. The UAE has government guidelines about serving refreshments to Muslim and non-Muslim customers.
Jesus
during
Christ.
Ramadan, right?
What?
And so
why? What? Let them decide.
Right.
Why
And
is it on me?
Apparently, this is another thing. Like the Quran is against the compulsory observance of religion.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's clear, it's clear that you're not supposed to compel anybody to be Muslim or whatever, right?
I don't think they listen to that one very much.
I think that's the picking and choosing that people do with holy books.
What?
Right
How
there.
dare you accuse them of that?
Right there, they're going to enforce it. With
There's a lot
state
of
power.
There's a lot of picking and choosing that happens.
Mrs. Jafar, Freya Jafar is actually her name. She also says, "I truly think the world has gone mad after today." This is the reason.
Glad you finally
Right here.
noticed.
It was water.
Oh my God!
I mean, it's ludicrous.
it is.
Somebody
ludicrous.
asks for fucking water, you give them water.
You give them water. Doesn't even. Yeah. There's. They live in a desert, for God's sake. It's barren out there. It's a nightmare.
Yeah.
Not unlike the nightmare that we live every day in our desert.
Yeah, our green, lush little strip of desert here.
Yeah. This is high mountain desert is what we live in.
I know.
Technically.
And we're also on the edge of it.
Yeah. Anywho, I'm going to take us to Vatican City. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's in Italy.
Oh.
But it is not of Italy.
Oh.
Because it's its own country.
In Italy, not of Italy.
Boop. Right in the middle there.
Yeah.
That's where the Popey lives. And Pope Francis has decided a new thing.
Oh.
We reported that they've had multiple meetings to discuss what they can do to prevent priest sex abuse and to keep priests in line and to prevent covering up of priest sex abuse, all that sort of thing. And they've decided to take concrete steps. Real, honest, theoretically, concrete steps. Granted, as Emmett Mehta pointed out, kind of the barest of minimums that they could possibly do.
Okay.
But all 415,000 of the world's Catholic priests and all 660,000 of the religious sisters.
Wait. What are these numbers?
Catholic priests, 415,000 of them in the world.
That's a lot.
Religious sisters, 660,000.
Wow.
Over
a million.
Over a million just in those categories.
Wow.
They are all now mandated reporters. If they hear about child sex abuse, they must report it.
Oh.
Not to the municipality, not to the local authorities,
What?
to the church. But there is now a centralized organization that they have to report to. And I think actually that makes the church more liable legally. Like, I think they're actually, like, if they have this thing in this system in place and it still continues to happen, I think they're in bigger trouble now. So I think actually there is some improvement here.
Okay.
And
however, report to the local authorities.
Right.
That is what you do.
But this is church law, but it does provide whistleblower protection for anyone making a report.
Oh yeah.
And requires all of the dioceses around the world to have a system in place to receive the claims confidentially. Oh. So, like, this is a system. They're putting in a system.
Okay.
So I'm going to give them props for that. That is an actual thing. It's not enough, but it's a start. And we'll see if it actually does anything. It might actually do a thing. You never know.
Well, one can hope.
One can only hope.
Wow. All right. Dan, I've got a poll.
Oh, you love a good poll.
I love a good poll, and this is a good poll.
Okay.
Every 4 years or so, Gallup likes to ask questions of the American population, likely voters, right? And they're asking Americans sort of, what kind of people are you willing to vote for president? Right?
Which is actually asking, what kind of people are you not willing to vote for president?
Well, fair enough, right? But they've been asking this question since like the 30s.
Okay.
And of course, the sort of groups of people that are included on the list has changed through the years.
We've reported on these before.
We have. Some very, very, very interesting numbers, though, are happening right now.
Wow.
Virtually, there is now universal. The American population is essentially universally willing to vote for a black candidate, a Catholic candidate, a Hispanic candidate, a woman, or a Jewish candidate. So these are all up in the 90s.
Wow.
These numbers have all come up in the last 4 years.
Yeah.
Every single one of them. Hispanic went up 4 points. Blacks went up 4 points.
Now, mind you, these are people willing. They're not actually willing to vote for these people. They're willing to say that they're willing to vote for these people. I want to be clear about that.
Fair enough.
There may be a discrepancy between those two numbers, but that's all. This is the one that we can actually check.
So that grouping that they're considering to be sort of universal support for.
So as long as this person comported with their own political viewpoints, they would vote for.
It does break down into some interesting party numbers.
Sure.
But this is just sort of the general population.
Okay.
Combined.
Cool.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Good news.
Yeah. I think that's fair to say.
All of that
if
stuff
there was
is
a
cool.
Republican woman,
yeah,
right? Like there is support for that.
Right.
In sort of near universal numbers amongst Republicans. But let's look at evangelical Christians. The numbers are up, but it's still only 80% of the population is willing to vote for an evangelical Christian.
Oh.
Get this. Gay or lesbian candidate.
Okay.
76% of the country willing to vote for. And that number actually hasn't gone up that much over the last 4 years.
Interesting.
It was obviously very much just a hypothetical 4 years ago.
Right.
And now there's actually a name attached to such a candidate.
Right.
But
that name is Kamala Harris.
No, it's not.
Okay.
That came up from 74% to 76%. They added the question of, would you be willing to vote for somebody under the age of 40?
Okay.
71% of the population is willing.
Huh.
Over the age of 70, 63% of the nation.
Yeah.
Muslims. Where do you think Muslims are in this whole thing?
Definitely lower than those other categories.
Yeah.
I'm gonna guess 50.
66%.
Okay.
That's up 6 points.
Okay.
What do you think about atheists?
Okay, that one's got to be up from
whatever
it was before. It's got to be
up a bunch, but it's up.
Probably. I mean, the last time we got one of these, atheists were well below Muslims. I'm going to say 60%.
60%. 60%? Can you believe it?
Well, I mean, that's horrible. That's actually
I know, but
horrible.
It's going up.
It is going up, but it's still crazy.
I know.
Because
we should be the most trusted group in America.
Well,
we're not.
Or at very least, not the most least trusted group.
Well, no, that's socialists. At 47%, the numbers are stagnant. Didn't budge at all.
Okay.
There were some interesting breakdowns by party that I did want to get to.
Okay.
Let me get to that page real quick here.
Remembering the fact that the Republican Party has just hitched its wagon so hard to the Christian religious right.
Right. So that number for the Republicans being willing to vote for an evangelical Christian, 92%.
Right.
Democrats would potentially support an evangelical Christian only at 71%.
Right.
Amongst Democrats, gay or lesbian, 83% of Democrats would support a gay candidate.
Right.
Muslims.
Wait, only 83% of Democrats?
Uh-huh.
That shocks me.
Well,
I would have thought that would be in the 90s.
No.
Wow.
61% of Republicans on that one.
Yeah, 60%.
How do you think Muslims break down on this? This one was mind-boggling to me.
Well, because you said it's mind-boggling, I'm now saying that Democrats are lower than they should be. Like, Dems should be... Well, I don't know.
It's not mind-boggling. That might be the wrong word. But it was surprising.
I mean, I'm going to say that it's like 40% for Republicans and 70% for Democrats.
A lot higher for Democrats, 86%.
Okay.
That's what I find surprising. I'm like,
oh.
Because I still think that even on the left, for such high office, there would be some like, I don't know, Muslims?
Right.
Just a little bit, you know.
Just a twinge.
Only 38% of Republicans would support a Muslim candidate.
Yeah.
And Democrats, 74% would support a socialist candidate. Only 19% of Republicans would. So there's some interesting things. What I do find really interesting about all the categories, as far as like the year over, 4 years ago versus now,
right?
Just sort of the general numbers, is that every single category except for socialists saw an increase in its support.
Huh.
Which is really remarkable, right? Like that shows that there's some kind of the American mind is opening up slowly and being more accepting of certain groups.
Yeah.
Which I think is really good. Muslims did pretty well, going up 6 points in 4 years. That says there's a general sense amongst the country.
Right.
Even if Republicans are still dead set against the idea, there is an opening up that's happening.
Yeah.
Which is a good thing.
Yeah.
So,
hurrah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy, right?
It's I guess that's a good thing. So I'll close out on a bad thing.
Oh no.
Which is, well, okay. So everyone listening will be shocked. Shocked, I tell you, to learn that the San Jacinto County Courthouse in the great state of Texas in these United States has adorned itself for a long time with giant crosses.
Oh.
Now, they've been very clever and put them in windows that have sort of casings that sort of you could make that have, intersecting patterns.
Sure.
So it kind of blends a little bit.
Okay.
But the crosses are there.
It's there.
It's very clear. There are crosses on the windows of the courthouse. Now, that's problematic.
Yeah.
We atheists, those of us who are looking at it from the outside, we can very easily see why this is problematic. Like when a courthouse is basically declaring, guess who gets better treatment in this courthouse?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any Muslim, any Jew can see the problem here.
Right.
Guess who can't see the problem?
Christians.
And not just any Christians. The Attorney General's office of the state.
Oh, God.
FFRF has sent them a letter saying, hey, please take these down. That's not okay.
Just put some nice casement windows in,
Right.
like just something, can open up nice, get some fresh air in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do some stained glass. As long as it doesn't have Jesus on it, we're fine.
Yeah.
But no, they voted, the town, the city people voted not to change it. And the state attorney general's office has expressed that they will support them and defend them if FFRF files a lawsuit. So that's probably likely to happen. The assistant attorney general who sent them the letter, who sent San Jacinto County the letter, is one Jeff Mateer, who is so far to the right that when Donald Trump nominated him for a lifetime seat as a federal judge, he couldn't get enough Republican support when they learned how crazy far right his beliefs were.
Oh, my God.
So, yeah, I mean, this is a guy who has said that transgender children are part of Satan's plan, and he supports conversion therapy, that sort of thing. Said same-sex marriage would lead to polygamy and bestiality.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. What if it led to polygamy? What if people married multiple people? The world would fall apart.
It's never happened before.
It's never worked in the history of, wait, did I read that in the Bible? Oh, fuck.
Oh, my God.
Why isn't he pro-polygamy? It's in his own book.
He should be. Because he picks and chooses.
Picking and choosing, that's the
he
way.
He needs some hard preaching from Steven
Anderson. Yeah. Needs to get
who
hard.
comes and preaches the less popular parts.
That's right.
Why he needs a
Steven Anderson, we are going to hear about that guy marrying somebody else soon.
Oh yeah.
He's going to have concubines. There's one thing being if there's one thing being a preacher who has some fame always leads to, it's more sex with people you're not supposed to. Anyway, listen, folks, if you have anything you'd like to say about any of the stuff we've talked about, please write into us. Podcast at thankgodimatheist.com.
Or call and leave a voicemail message. The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
Yeah, hey, go to the Facebook page, too. Facebook.com/TGIAtheist and click on that like button like 10,000 more of you have done.
And while on Facebook, search for the TGIA Members Only Lounge and request to join. It is a closed group, but we will let you.
Because we're nice like that.
Hey, Dan.
Yes.
A little bit of audio for us to listen to.
Yeah,
I want to play it.
Coach Dave, Dave
Dobenmeyer.
He has put on his signature tinfoil hat for this one.
Yeah. He's actually kind of dressed up for this one.
Oh, yeah.
The video has him like in a blue blazer.
Well, blue blazes. What in blue blazes is that?
He's still wearing a T hat, though. What's the T for?
What does that T on your hat stand
What is that
for?
Anyway,
it's a lowercase letter T, not the uppercase. Anywho, Coach Dave, it's funny because I don't know. You listen to the whole thing for just the last 3 seconds because
it's just some good Dave.
It's just some blathering on, and then he hits you from left field with the things.
All right,
that's what coaches do.
Should we just have a listen?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Listen, folks, I want you to understand something. Bible says this, that the law is the schoolmaster that drives us to Christ, brings us to repentance. That's what it says. The law is the schoolmaster. Folks, do you have any idea? Listen to me. Do you have any idea how many of that deep state are going to meet Jesus as a result of justice coming to them? Do you have any idea? You say, Coach, we just need to share the gospel with you. Daggone right we do. Let's lock them up. Let's lock them up and let's let them show they're not above the law. They're not above God, and let them drive them to their knees and they'll meet Jesus. I don't know about you. I met Jesus in hard times. Anybody meet Jesus in hard? How many of you met Jesus in good times?
I met Jesus being locked up. I was in lockup when I met Jesus. He had to get me where I stopped running before I'd listen.
Brother, folks, this is so important. See, we want to grant mercy before judgment. We cannot. It dishonors our Lord if we let Hillary Clinton be declared not guilty and she ain't even been tried.
Coach,
that's spitting in the face of God.
Good Lord, when are they just going to move on from Hillary?
From Hillary? I don't know.
So irrelevant.
You know what? Listen, as any Hollywood franchise owner can tell you, when you've invested that much time and energy into a franchise, you go with it.
Yeah, but this is way beyond. This is like Hillary 7.
I know.
Or 8 at this point. Like
this is
the movies have gotten bad.
Deep State, The
Really
Fast
bad.
and the Furious. Why isn't there a Deep State series of movies?
There should be.
That's probably on PureFlix.
Yeah.
It's Deep State is code for I'm cuckoo.
Yeah.
And anytime anyone says the words Deep State to you, just know that they don't know anything.
Just
They
back
have
off slowly.
Right.
Just, take a non-threatening posture
Right.
and tone of voice and just slowly back away.
You just say, if you look at that building behind you off in the distance, you have to look really carefully. You can see Illuminati symbols on it. And then when they turn, you run.
And
Yelling, "You're crazy!" as you go. Oh, Franklin.
Dan.
Listen, there are many ways to show for our listeners to show that they support us.
Yeah.
None of them are as easy or as useful as just trying a different way to shave their face for free.
Yeah.
All they have to do is look. You and I, we use Harry's.
Uh-huh.
Harry's.com they make razors.
Yeah.
And if the gentleman out there, you all have to shave your face. Even if you've got a beard like me. Mm-hmm. Currently, Franklin, you don't have a beard.
No, I shaved it off.
Right.
Amazing.
So, no matter what state your face is in, if you don't want to look like...
Mine's in Utah, currently.
It's a Dan joke you just made. Look, whatever state your face is in, if you don't want to look like a hobo, you got to shave something.
Yeah.
And
it's helpful.
And look, what we're doing is we're giving you a chance to try it for free. You get a free look. You get a $13 value. Now, $13 doesn't sound like a lot, but it's actually, if you look at other brands, this is a much higher value than that. But Harry's is cheaper than the other brands. That's the lovely thing. You get a smoother shave, better shave. You got 5-blade cartridges.
A truly comfortable shave.
Yeah.
That like you hear that thrown around with razors and shaving solutions and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
And it's like, no. This is like crazy comfortable. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. So you get a $13 trial value set that comes with everything you need for that close, comfortable shave. You get the weighted ergonomic handle. You get the 5-blade razor with the lubricating strip and the trimmer blade on the back. Useful.
Yep.
Helpful. You get your rich lathering shave gel, which is my favorite shave gel that I've ever used.
Yeah.
It smells really good.
It's lovely.
And you get the travel blade cover. You get all of that for free. All you pay is the shipping.
Mm-hmm.
And then you you help us out. You just listeners to our show. You redeem your trial set at harrys.com/Taga. TGIA. Tagia.
Yeah, there you go.
TGIA. harrys.com/TGIA. And then you redeem the offer. You get free stuff. We get helped out a little bit. Everybody
wins.
This is a win-win-win.
Yeah.
So please stop whatever you're doing now. Yeah. Hit pause on the show.
Yeah.
And just sign up.
There aren't a lot of those win-win-wins in life.
No. Take one of them. Just take one for yourself. Anyway, we had some folks write into us.
We did indeed.
So let's do that. Jim wrote in, said, hi. Now you'll remember, Frank, that you and I were talking about being casually preached at in taxis and Ubers and such. You know, when you hear when they play the Christian music or whatever.
Right.
Jim proposes a solution.
Oh.
Won't work for me, but we'll explain why.
Oh, okay.
He says, one quick solution if Uber or whatever is playing heavy Christian themed music, sing along loudly, enthusiastically, and most of all, badly. Should only take about 1.5 songs of you joyously screeching along before they magically find the mute button or the volume control. Hope this helps.
They might join in.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever heard Christians sing along?
That could backfire on you. But at very least, it would be entertaining. I don't know any of those songs.
Yeah.
So it would
be hard.
It'd be difficult. But you could just blast them out.
If they were playing Book of Mormon stories,
if they were playing
or
Mormon
Give Said the Little Stream, I might be able to sing
Mormon
along.
kid songs. Yeah, we could. Oh, I love this! Turn it up.
Give Said the Little Stream. Is that specifically Mormon?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Anyway,
is that, you know what? That is one of the weird things about growing up Mormon, is that I am entirely unaware of the things that are exclusively Mormon and the things that Mormons stole and borrowed from other religions. Right. So it's like, yeah, we have a whole hymn book, and some of them are just ours.
Right.
And some of them are everybody's, and some of them were somebody else's, but we changed the lyrics. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, that's a tricky one with Mormonism.
Yeah. Yeah, so let us know. Did you sing Give Said the Little Stream? Or at Sunday school,
or was there popcorn popping on your apricot trees? Because
I'm pretty sure that one's Mormon.
I think it is. And what's weird about it is there's no mention of Jesus or God
or any kind of moral lesson. At least Give Said the Little Stream doesn't talk about Jesus.
No, but it's like
this good message.
It's about
sharing.
It's about giving.
Yeah,
that's funny. But yeah, the apricot tree one is just about, hey, look, flowers. Which I think is nice.
So much fun.
It's nice, yeah.
When you're like 5 years old, that is the best song ever.
Yeah. Oh, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And a message that I could, like, if I was singing along with my nieces and nephews, I can sing along with that one and feel great about it.
Yeah.
So there you go. Dear Frank and Dan, this is from Egil, who is Norwegian, as Shakespeare put it. I like that. I like that better. Mm-hmm. By Odin's beard, you have bettered my mornings, says Egil. Nice. I live in a small town in the south of Norway. My 12-year-old girl, Vilja, I'm going to guess that that's how you say it. Please forgive Vilja if that's not. Goes to the international school, 30 minutes drive from where we live. Huh. Every morning, we take the drive to school together, rain, snow, or shine. The route is slow, the scenery beautiful, and the company is good. One morning, after 3 songs of Led Zeppelin, she introduced me to podcasts on Spotify. Oh. I had no idea. I told her to just start one of hers on my phone, since it was connected to the car's Bluetooth. You guys came on. Episode 3, Yoga, Evil, Vatican Exorcist. From that morning, you have become the best morning routine. Thank you.
Aww.
Wow. And then Egil included some personal stuff, including the fact that he's a Viking.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So thanks for that. It's good to know that we're getting into the Viking homes.
It's been a tough demographic to.
That's a tough nut to crack. But once you get in there. That's great. Fantastic. Anyway, thank you so much. Do we have some other folks to thank?
Yes, we do indeed. We have one new venerable listener.
Okay.
By the name of Christina. So thank you so much, Christina.
Yeah.
We also have our reigning Lord and Savior, Josh.
All right, Josh. You are peace be upon you. Blessings on your head. Mazel tov. Mazel tov.
And the one thing that these two people did at some point in their lives And that the rest of our patrons have done is they went to thankgodimatheist.com,
Yes.
clicked on the support tab, and found their way over to Patreon, where they're supporting our campaign there.
Gosh, it's so useful. It's what keeps us going. It's what keeps us on the air. We have expenses, we have things, it's a lot of our time.
Yeah.
But we love you guys, and we are so appreciative when you can. If you are able to, you go. Yeah, if you can sign up to be a patron, it is a glorious thing, and you, as our listener in Norway will tell you, will live happily in Valhalla forever if you donate to our program.
That's how it works.
Thanks, guys.
Dan,
Yes, sir.
we got some things to discuss.
Sounds ominous. I don't know what. I'm not sure exactly where you're going, but it sounds scary now. Now I'm afraid.
Are you fully caught up on all your vaccinations, Dan?
This is an interesting question. I just read a thing about how guys who were vaccinated sort of in the 70s might have gotten I don't know. What I read was actually a headline. I did not read the actual article. So I'm not claiming to know anything, but it said something about maybe our vaccinations weren't as potent and maybe we need boosters.
Oh, now that's something to look into.
So I'm going
Okay,
to. I am going to look into that, in part because I'm going to do some international travel next year, and into a place that might not be well vaccinated, and I got to protect my damn self.
Yeah.
But
So you're going to get things like Hep A.
Yeah, I already did.
You've done
that.
Hep A already?
Yeah, I've done.
Okay.
Because I went to India, and when I went to India,
Right.
give me all of the shots. They're like, you don't need this one. This one is just an insulin shot. I'm like, give it to me.
Oh my God. Yeah. All right.
That was rough. I was in
that was not a
shock
smart
for a
one.
minute. No, that was a bad one. But yes, I got the malaria. I got the yellow fever.
Mm-hmm.
All of those things. So yeah, look, you and I, Franklin, we believe in vaccination.
I'm a firm believer
In inoculation.
because here's the deal, Dan.
Yeah.
Here's what I sort of do. I trust the doctors and other scientists in my life.
Yeah, the institution that is medical science.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Right. It's kind of just a thing, Like they've arrived at these conclusions through a long process. They're not just making shit up.
Right. It's an arduous process. Right. It is a process that reports the failures as well as the successes.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look 100% great. Right. When you do the research, you look at all of the report, all of the science.
What you're looking for is just pristine, clean.
Right. If
perfect.
Everything you're going to subject yourself has to have a 100% success rate
right.
with no harm ever having been done,
right.
You don't get medicine, and that's what a lot of people have turned to.
Right.
And that is where we're at. We have a problem, and here's the problem. When we talk, you and I, we were talking about the fact that there are certain issues that shouldn't have anything to do with our program. Our show is about a secular look at sort of religion in the world.
Right.
So what the fuck does abortion have to do with our show?
Right.
What the fuck does,
gay marriage
have to do with our show?
Right.
These shouldn't be issues that are, but the only people who are on the opposing side of these things are religious people.
Right, exactly.
And that's what it has to do with our show. We got a problem with anti-vax.
Oh.
Because it's not just religious right people.
Right.
There are plenty of atheists who are on the anti-vax front.
Right. Or maybe not full-on atheists, but just people on the political left who they're not doing it for sort of the religious science skepticism that the people on the right might be doing it for.
Right.
These are people who but they do fall prey to this thing of this woo thing that exists on the left. People who they just feel better about, seeing I don't know, an acupuncturist,
right,
or a massage therapist, or a chiropractor, or whatever, as their solution to whatever their health problem might be. Right. And that kind of thinking can often fall. People who think that way can often fall prey to things like the anti-vax message.
Yeah,
as espoused by, what is it, Jenny McCarthy? And,
sure. No less an authority on medical procedures than Jenny fucking McCarthy, people.
I know. Oh,
she used to be pretty, everybody. You're supposed to believe those people.
I know.
I don't know. Here's the thing. There are a group of Christian right nut jobs that are anti-vax.
Absolutely.
And there are extreme right, extremely conservative Jewish populations that are anti-vax.
Yeah.
And they use their holy scriptures and their whatever as their reasons why they're opposed to it.
Right.
But then there's all these fucking woo people who, look, skepticism is healthy and good.
Right.
But it can be used badly.
Right.
And so when you're skeptical of the institutions that you shouldn't be skeptical of, look, the medical institution does not get things right all the time. They get things wrong a lot.
Right.
Science gets things wrong a lot.
Right.
The only thing about science that makes it better than these other institutions is that eventually it self-corrects.
Right.
Is that, like, it's good in science to falsify bad science.
Right. Yeah.
And that's something that they try to do. And almost nothing in modern medicine has been looked into more than vaccinations because of this first dipshit Andrew Wakefield. Is that the guy who did it? I think that's the name of the doctor.
Oh, yeah.
Who first published this so-called correlation between vaccinations and autism.
Right.
That has since been disproved a bazillion times over.
Right.
It is 100% not the case that vaccinations have anything to do with autism.
Right. But that genie was out of the bottle. Like, that was done.
Yeah. So then all these other and then what's funny is that since that was launched, that was the reason people were anti-vax. And then in the course of that being the cause, they started to come up with other reasons. And then the other reasons became more compelling. And then they started to run with those other reasons.
Do they involve the Illuminati? That it's
the deep state wants you to be vaccinated. That's right.
Mind control.
I'm sure that, like, if you go deep enough, that's there.
The MMR stands for multi-mind
reconstruction. Yeah, something like that. That combined with
say it's measles, mumps, and
rubella. Yeah, and when you combine the MMR with a little bit of fluoride in your water, they fully can control your mind, 100%.
That's what the satellites are for.
That's right. That's right, and the chemtrails. Anyway, look, there's a lot of myths out there surrounding it, including the thing that like there's toxins in it, there's formaldehyde and all this stuff. And all of that is easily disproved if you actually just look at the scientific research.
Right.
But boy, they don't want to look at that scientific research. They want to look at, I mean, I guess the point is here, humans are very prone to wanting to believe certain things. And once you want to believe a thing, that's what you read.
Yeah.
If you're not actively searching for truth, if you'd rather, because there are people whose personalities don't want to believe the accepted story.
Oh, right.
And that's when you fall prey to conspiracy theories and to, any number of sort of, you make yourself very vulnerable to conspiracy theory, that sort of thing.
Right.
But those people all say, I'm just looking for the truth. You know what I mean?
Right.
They out there are trying to hide the truth from us. whoever they are. So then you get
goddamned X-Files. Like, it just...
You get the flat earthers. You get the aliens built the pyramids.
Yeah.
You get all of this stuff. When Occam's razor goes flying out the window.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the fact of the matter is that our group, atheists, free thinkers, whatever, have a population within our population that is just as easily prone to bad thinking, to magical thinking, to sort of to this kind of thought, as is the rest of the dim bulbs out there.
Yeah.
So we as a group need to come together and start talking about, I think, what is good skepticism and what is a bad use of skepticism. And, we need to start, because, boy, if there's ever been a time when our politicians are telling us don't believe the institutions that we need to be believing.
Right.
Don't believe the science. Don't believe don't believe our own government institutions. Our government, the right hand's telling us not to believe the left hand, sort of thing.
Right.
There are certain things that you need to be skeptical about, but certain things we need to start saying, okay, what does the science say?
Right.
It may not be 100% right, but that's the best information that we have at this moment, and we have to work with that.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Fair enough.
Okay. I guess that's where we were going then.
Yeah, that's that. Don't you think?
Yeah. So I'm assuming that there are people who are listening to this who want to tell us that vaccinations don't fall into the same category as
it's possible.
all these
It's
other
really
things.
possible. Like, we reach a lot of people, and and the one thing that's always surprised me is the diversity of people that we reach and that listen to us. So.
Go ahead and write into us, but know that we're going to be looking at the scientific research on this. So
Right.
if you reach out to us and tell us, something about natural immunity being better than vaccine immunity, or toxins, or they're not worth the risk or whatever. Look, we should mention there is a certain small percentage of people who should not be vaccinated because they're immunocompromised.
Sure. Yeah.
And that's the reason why everybody else needs to be vaccinated, to protect those people. The herd immunity is insanely important.
Yeah.
So anyway, if you write into us, know that we may read your email, but we will be looking at the real science when you write in. So come correct if you're coming at us. That's what I'm going to say.
But please do write.
But do write. Podcast at thankgodimatheist.com is the email address. Please do. You can also call in.
Yeah, we would love to actually hear your voice on this topic. The telephone number is 424-666-8442.
Yeah, go to the Facebook page too, facebook.com/TGIAtheist, and see what Mackenzie's up to over there.
And while on Facebook, search for the TGIA Members Only Lounge and request to join. It is a closed group, but we will let you in. Also, the whole social media realm, if you're over on Reddit or Twitter, TGI Atheist.
Yep.
Is
That's right. Speaking of social media, thanks so much to Mackenzie for handling the Facebook page. You are amazing. And thanks to Amy and Danny for their work as moderators in the Members Only Lounge. You guys have been awesome in the Members Only Lounge. We haven't needed to moderate all that much lately, so keep that up. And that's great.
Yeah, and a big thanks goes out to the Red Rock Hot Club and to Gordon Johnston for the use of their music.
And thank all of you for tuning in, kids.
Thanks. Bye-bye.